everyone, it's Jody at Chico Scrapbooks, back on track with make and take videos. This is the project we did today, July 2nd, 2014. We'll go ahead and get started and show you how we made this gorgeous tag. So this week we used the new Sand and Sea die. We used the Biggs Seahorse and the Mover and Shaper Sand Dollar, and we put them together so that they would fit on a standard number 8 Ink Essential tag. And we also used the Confetti die. This is number 65974. Confetti. We used Distress Stickles, dry glitter, and of course lots of distress ink. So we'll go ahead and get started. And the first thing we did was to run the tag through the confetti die to get these holes. And it doesn't actually cut them all the way through so that they fall out, but they're really easy to pop out. So we just pushed them through selectively and left the rest of those intact. And then after we did the holes, we went ahead and started inking them up. So this is peacock feathers. Just blending in, and the ink will settle into the grooves of the confetti holes, which make great little ocean bubbles. We'll use a little bit of Salty Ocean, blending the colors together, and then a little up here. And we'll do some tumbled glass. Just overlapping all the colors, blending them all together. And then we'll finish up with some broken china. The more layers of distress ink you apply, the richer and more vibrant your color will become. It'll just really saturate in and blend in. So if you like it nice and rich and bright, just add in a few more layers. I'm going to go ahead and put some around the edge with Salty Ocean. And I think that looks pretty good. Now, to get this variegated look in the tag, we used water and we just spritzed some in our hand and dropped it on. And it'll give, as the water wicks, and you can blot this up with a paper towel or just kind of let it air dry. And you can also just spritz it a little bit and it will give you another pattern within a pattern. And we'll go ahead and just let that soak in for a second, and you can see how the water starts to wick away some of the ink, and then you can dab. And then if you want even more splatters, just spritz in your hand or flick water onto your tag and let it react with the distress ink. Then when you think it's just right, you can just blot it and it gives a nice pattern in your distress ink. So I think we'll go ahead and stick with that. The next thing we're going to do is take some double-sided adhesive backed with white cardstock, and we're going to put it behind our card so that we can have a nice base for our glitter to stick to through the confetti holes. So we're just going to make sure that's nice and dry. And we're going to cover up all of our holes. Now we have a sticky surface which will allow our glitter to stick. This is Distress Stickles Dry Glitter Clear Rock Candy, and it's super sparkly and fun to play with. So I would encourage you to pick some of this up and use it on all kinds of projects. A little hair in there. Let's see if I can get that out. There we go. If you want more sparkle, you can let some just kind of sit on top of your tag. We're going to go ahead and put down a piece of this Mayart ribbon that kind of looks like ocean netting. And for that, we're just going to use double-sided adhesive tape. Just a couple of strips. And tear it off. Just going to do a couple of little stripes. I'm just going to trim the edge of that off. And we'll go ahead and remove these layers. Sometimes it can be tricky to find the edge. Scissors really helps. And then we're going to lay down our netting. Trim off the excess. And then I think we're going to add a little bit more of the dry rock candy to those exposed strips of adhesive. Give us a little bit more sparkle. And that looks pretty fun. Okay, next we're going to ink up our seahorse and sand dollar. And I recently found out that seahorses come in all different colors. So there's anything goes when it comes to a seahorse, and we're just going to do a nice mix of colors. Just, that's a little Dusty Concord. This is some peeled paint. Do a little bit of Salty Ocean, overlapping our colors. Maybe a little bit more Dusty Concord. And on the seahorse, we used the Sand and Sea Big Sky, but we also ran it through an embossing folder, and this is the Damask embossing folder, to give it that kind of a crocodile skin texture, and it actually did a really good job of texturing the seahorse, and I felt it was an authentic pattern. So it was a good pick for a texture on a seahorse. If you're looking for one, try the Damask embossing folder. That's a Sizzix texture fade embossing folder. And we'll do a little peacock feathers. And then we'll finish it up with some shaded lilac. Just blending all of our colors together. And maybe just a little bit more pale pink. There's a lot you can do with this little seahorse to make him look cool. You could put crackle on him, or glossy accents, or UD, ultra thick embossing enamel, or any kind of sparkly distressed glitter or other kind of embellishment. But we'll go ahead and keep him simple. I'm just going to give him a little bit of outline so that there's some separation from the background. And this is Vintage Photo. Just around the edges. There we go. Okay. And now we're going to go ahead and do our sand dollar. You want to cut 2 of the mover and shaper sand dollars. It's a little bit smaller than the big sand dollar, which would be too big for the number 8 tag. But so that's why we use the mover and shaper size. And you want to cut 2 so that you can get the top layer and the bottom layer. And then we just use the pop dot in between. So I'll go ahead and cut this out. And there's a little embossing in the sand dollar so you can see where to cut. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just follow the embossing line around and cut it out. A good pair of precision scissors will make this easy work. And don't be too hard on yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just have fun with it. So we'll go ahead and do the sand dollar in spun sugar. Just lots of little circles. And a little bit of Vintage Photo around the edge. And then you want to do the same thing with your starfish piece for the overlay. So spun sugar. And then just do a little outline with some Vintage Photo to give it some separation. Doesn't have to be too perfect, just run it lightly across all the edges. It'll give a nice shadow and some nice depth. Okay, now what really brings this sand dollar to life is the spritzing tool. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's a very cool new tool. Actually, it's not new, but Tim Holtz put his name on it, so it's kind of new. And this will work with any kind of marker. Copic markers, Sharpie markers, paint pens, glitter pens. And the trick is you just want to get your tip of your felt tip right up underneath this air spout, and then you tighten it into place. And then you point it with this, not the pen, but the air spout, and you just blow down, and it'll give you nice little specks of ink. So that's what this looks like. This one is Distress Marker Antique Linen. And we're going to go ahead and do the starfish also. A few more clicks. Okay. And then we'll go in and do some old paper. Just want to tighten your screw in so you get that felt tip right over the air spout. And this was what it looked like with the antique linen. And now we're going to add the old paper. Couple of spritz. It's really easy, and you get another little shade in there. So we'll do the starfish, a couple of little spritz, and that's it. So now we're going to put our two pieces together. I'm going to have a gorgeous little sand dollar. So we're going to go ahead and pop dot this together, just using one little pop dot on the back of the starfish. We're going to place that right down over the embossing pattern. And there is a cute little sand dollar. So we're going to go ahead and pop dot this piece right onto our tag. Two or three pop dots. And put starfish firmly into place. And we're going to do the same thing with our seahorse. One more down the bottom, and maybe one more at the top. Okay. I'm going to peel off the backings. I'm going to place that right next to our sand dollar. And we're almost finished. So we're going to go ahead and poke a hole at the top of our tag using the crocodile. This is the We Are Memory Keepers crocodile. And let's get this open. And I'm just going to punch a hole right through the tag opening. And we're going to attach a nice fiber that coordinates with our tag and our colors. I'm just going to cut off 5 or 6 inches string it through our opening. And then we've got about a yard of this fiber. Go ahead and trim off the end. Do some loops around your fingers. Set it down and tie it off. And you might want to do a double knot. And then just fluff up your fiber at the top of your tag. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little make and take this week. It was a really fun one, and all the ladies here at Chico Scrapbooks seem to really enjoy it. Hope you guys like the videos. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and as always, come into the shop here at Chico Scrapbooks for weekly free make and takes on Wednesday. And we hope to see you soon. Bye for now.